Thank you so much, Eric. Hi, everyone. Uh, it's so beautiful to see your faces popping up here. And so many of you have become so familiar and dear to me in this time that we've been practicing Medicine Buddha. I had this really interesting experience today. We found out, really pretty late that Lama Rod wasn't going to be here. And if you're feeling disappointed because you wanted to see him because he wasn't here the past 2 weeks, I'm completely with you on that. So I was really looking forward to seeing him. And when Eric asked me if I'd be willing to lead the community-led Medicine Buddha, my first impulse was to say no. And that was such a powerful learning for me because I had to sit with that, and it put me in touch with all the ways that I say no to the work, you know. It was about whether I was going to kind of dive into Medicine Buddha, to what it means to me, to the practice in a deeper way, or or not, And so I realized there's so many ways that I sell myself out, uh, that I don't push myself to into freedom, into the work of freedom. And it made me think very much about how Lama Rod keeps asking us lately, um, do you really want to be free? Have you really made that decision? And and it made me think about how it is a decision that happens every minute, all the time. And so I really appreciate needing to think about that, needing to see that, because this work of freedom, the other thing Lama Rod keeps telling us is it is the hardest work any human being does. And it happens over, maybe some people get instantly liberated and enlightened. We have heard these stories. I've heard these stories. Not me, not me. This seems to be a project of a lifetime, and I can see progress. And I feel like I have a very long way to go, even though I feel like I work very hard, and have been working for a long time. And so I had to really contemplate Medicine Buddha and how this practice brings us along on this, I want to say, freedom train, and how when we evoke these streams of energy of these deities, and spirit guides, and sometimes even ancestors, how it helps us along in a powerful, powerful way. For me, Medicine Buddha, this practice has come a little bit hard, and over time, I've understood that as we practice this, we're entering the stream of not only the yearning to be free, but also very powerfully, we're joining with all of those who understood that to be free, everyone has to be free, and that our intention in this practice and in all these practices is to get free so that we can help everyone be free, and even free the phenomenal world. Lama Rod talks about that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, actually. But lately I feel like he's moving very fast, and I try to move with him as much as I possibly can. I'm always trying to show up whenever he shows up, and I feel like I'm running and holding on to like his t-shirt. He keeps going, and I'm like trying to keep up. So there are these things that I don't quite understand, and yet as I keep studying and just sitting with him and the practices that he teaches, I can feel myself learning, and expanding. For so many years, I felt deeply like there was something wrong with me because I felt like life was such a struggle. Like, why is it so hard? It must be because there's something wrong with me. Um, and and it's only lately that I understand, I think in a deep way, that the more free we get with that intention for everyone to be free, the more we really feel, that hunger and thirst for an end to systems of violence, the more difficult it is in many ways to look around and see how much violence there is. Um, and I feel like Lama Rod gives us such maps, so many different maps. Like lately, I've been working on the How to Work with Ancestors map. And I really need everything he's saying about that because that's hard for me. Um, but over a couple years, I feel like I'm finally making some progress with it. And then there's just the map of how to show up and how to pray. The Seven Homecomings really helps me a lot with that. And, I've heard that a teacher is a boat that helps us cross the ocean of the world. And that's what's happening for me is I'm in the boat, not always understanding, but always knowing that if I just keep hanging on to the t-shirt and running, you know, I can cross the ocean of this world that is really hard to show up in, um, you know, pretty much all the time. Uh, so when we evoke medicine Buddha, this stream of energy that is about liberation in a very specific way, liberation of all beings, this yearning, this deep understanding that none of us are free until all of us are free. We're connecting to not only medicine Buddha, like I realize I don't always, when I'm doing this practice, think about a blue lapis colored Buddha sitting on a lotus with an orange robe. That's a beautiful picture. I have that picture right above me. Um, but what's easier for me is to think about the spirit guides and the people that I have experienced who embody that energy and show me how to live in that way. Certainly Lama Rod is one of those people, Harriet Tubman, we all have our own Jesus, our own people who seem to um, understand that in such a deep way that even just thinking about them helps me to understand who I really am and why I'm really here and what my work is. So as we practice, whoever comes to mind as the one who embodies that prayer for you, someone who lives that prayer, and the mantra that we sing, we pray like this: for an end to suffering and an end to the root of suffering. And we send that prayer out to all the worlds that all might be liberated. The spirit of that prayer is in many other beings who have lived and live among us. So not all of us are good at visualizing. Many of us are new to this practice. It doesn't matter. Another thing Lama Rod's been talking about lately that I really love is when we invoke these beings, these streams of energy, we don't have to beg them. As soon as we think about them, they show up. As soon as we intend for them to be around, they are around. And I guess that's kind of like what we talk about as a leap of faith. Like, that's important because some of us, uh, I think it's almost like not feeling worthy or feeling like they must be busy and have something else to do, right? Like that was my big question at first. Like, doesn't medicine Buddha have something else to do? Isn't Jesus busy or, and that's an unanswerable question. But the truth is that when we call on these beings, call on Harriet Tubman, call on those ones that embody Jesus, uh, embodied what Medicine Buddha is, and shows us they show up. They show up, and we just have to know that they show up if we don't uh, have an inclination to know that in a deep way. So we're going to do exactly what we always do. We're going to have a little practice, and as usual, remembering again to evoke the energy of gratitude, to remember that we're here because we want to be free. We want to free all beings. We want to free everyone. And we have to free ourselves first. So that's our intention of our practice. And then just bring your attention to your body. And you might, if you want to, bring your attention to your breath as a way of kind of getting here a little more, getting into your body a little more. Bringing your attention to the seat. And see if you can feel like you're being held by the seat, or however you're touching the ground, touching the earth. See if you can relax enough to really feel how the seat is rising to hold you. See if you can experience it as care. And see if you can just let yourself fall into that care. We're all together in this intention tonight. And somehow, beyond time and space, we're connected and we're being held by one another. See if you can let yourself fall into that care. And bring to mind whatever spirit guide, whatever teacher or medicine Buddha who embodies for you the specific energy that can help you see how to get free. So free that you can help others be free. Invite that energy, that being. And have them sit with you. Or they might be lying down or standing, but they're there. And see if you can experience how you are them, they are you. And how our journey of freedom is remembering who we are. And how we're not different from these beings that show us how to be free. And so, in that spirit, to draw them closer, let's sing the opening mantra. Om Teata Soha. We'll sing Om and then Om Teata Soham 3 times and then Om, because the vibrations of the chant can draw us deeper into our hearts. Okay, so take a breath. Om. Om Teata So. Come close to me. Om Teata So. Om Teata So. Om. Let yourself just rest in that vibration and in that longing. And in the beauty of your intention, the purity of your heart. So we're going to move on to the main mantra. I forgot to remind you to write your prayer in the chat, not in the chat, in the Google Doc that Eric put in the chat. But we're going to go ahead and start the main mantra, and then it's fine to sometime during that write your prayers. There's something about praying together. I don't know. I don't understand that either, but there's something that happens, I think, as we kind of divulge our prayers, hold up our prayers and offer them together and offer them for each other. So, like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the worlds. I love that, all the worlds, so that we all may be liberated. Om Teata Om Begete Maha Begete Raza Zumungate Soha. Try to give it all you've got. Teata Om Begete Maha Begete Raza Zumungate Soha. All that longing. Teata Om Begete Maha Begete Raza Zumungate Soha. 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 Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. Te ata om begete begete maha begete rasa zumunga te soha. You know, as we chant this chant, praying for the end of pain and suffering, we're praying for each other. We're praying for the end of each other's pain and suffering. Um, and we'll offer the prayers. And if you didn't get a chance to add your prayer, you can add it at the end while we start. It is a powerful chant that while we're doing it, it seems like all the things that we grieve that are happening, the wars, the suffering, our own suffering, the suffering that we're beholding, we're doing the work of untangling that suffering. And so we offer these prayers to our spirit guides, to the elders, the spirits of the land. We offer these prayers to the angels, to everyone who is able to hear this longing in our hearts, and everyone who is able to help accomplish these prayers from wherever they are. We pray for all the beings living through climate catastrophes. Prayers that I find work, enter into an age of abundance so that R and I can stay in this house for years to come without fretting and avoid disrupting her further. Prayers that R have a joyful, brave, and smooth transition back to school. Prayers of gratitude for the path under my feet and for the gift of worrying less. Prayers that this period of hardship bring about an age of well-being, joy, and safety. May Uncle M be completely cured from his blood cancer. Prayers of gratitude for T coming home from the hospital. Prayers that B have a good trip to Alaska and that she be cured from her brain disease. Prayers that Alan find work very soon. Prayers for the well-being of my family, Greg, Leah, Jen and Mike. Prayers for my spine, sciatica, and depression to be relieved. Prayers for everyone suffering from and fighting against neocolonialism and for the freedom of all. Prayers for Ashley as she transitions to find the work that fills her heart. May she have the courage to transform her conditions, be free from obstacles and suffering. Prayers for Eli as they deal with liver and gastrointestinal health issues. May they find relief and a path to wellness. Prayers for friends NS who is dealing with housing issues and friends AW and LG who are grieving. Prayers for all experiencing genocide, violence, and impacts of climate change, including Palestine, Congo, Sudan, and other places in the world where people experience these things right now. Prayers for my daughter as she prepares for her second year at university. May she continue to grow and learn and find her way. Prayers for me that I may have resources in order to move into a new place and buy what I need to live. Prayers that I follow where Dharma leads with courage and unbreakable faith. Prayers for the liberation of all beings in all realms and timelines with ease as soon as possible. Prayers especially for N, R, and Lama Rod to be free. Ashe. Prayers for Cindy, who just dropped her body and entered the bardo. Prayers for all systems to move toward care as a priority. Prayers that I too can put care first. Prayers for myself that I may stay in awareness of compassion to self and others, despite the pain, grief, and judgments that arise so very often. I pray too for my sister to connect to her own self-compassion and clarity. I pray too for my daughter in her body healing. May it be so. Prayers for guidance as I wrestle with whether to accept a job offer that could take me to a new uncertain path that could push me to grow, or to stay with my current job with a true community of co-conspirators who I feel very held and supported by. Prayers for Mel, recently recovering from cancer treatment. May she receive the generosity and healing she provides to so many others, that she may be restored and have so many more years to share her gifts. Prayers for Jennifer, Nicole, Kathan, and Nellie, for Megan and John. Prayers for my mother, Taryn, who still doesn't believe she can heal. Prayers for AS, that she is able to find affordable housing that meets her financial and disability support needs before she is forced to leave where she is currently staying. Prayers for Ben, that his anger transmutes and teaches, that he feels and knows the love inside him, and that the world holds for him. Prayers for my improved mental health. May I touch deeply into joy, pleasure, and my own aliveness so that I can be resourced to be present and do the work of getting free and supporting the freedom of others. Prayers for all those suffering from COVID right now. May they return to health and well-being as quickly as possible. Prayers for strength to all beings living in life's changes. May they find their confidence and ease. Prayers for those in transition of any form. Prayers for Jay for healing from addiction, to interrupt lies and ripples of harm. Prayer for M to surf the waves of career change and accompanying identity shifts. Prayers for R's summer cold to heat up, to clear up. Sorry. Summer cold to clear up. Prayers for Gaza, all the human suffering, anyone who is scared right now. May we be comforted through community and liberated from violence. Prayers of gratitude for feeling freed from lifelong pains. Prayers for the scorched earth of my Colorado town, for those that lost their homes to the wildfire, for my recovery from smoke. Prayers for my heartbreak, confusion, self-hatred, and nervous system dysregulation. May they resolve, may I settle, may I be free. Prayers for L, prayers for all young people starting school for the year, that they feel their belonging, that they feel ease, joy, and safety. Hear these prayers. Hear the unspoken prayers or the prayers people didn't get a chance to write down. Hear them in our hearts. I pray for Mo that he get enough confidence to either get a job or apply for disability so that he can have an income. I pray for Lama Rod and his family tonight in gratitude that he is doing something he needs to do, being with his family. He gives so much of himself all the time to us. May he be resourced with whatever he needs. We offer these prayers, these beautiful prayers, with so much love, with such deep yearning for the freedom and ease of all beings, that everyone may be safe and well and have what they need. May the power of these prayers, the sincerity of these prayers, may the help of all beings seen and unseen who are listening and hearing these prayers, may these prayers be accomplished. May it be so. This chant is such a powerful prayer. And, I've been doing this chant on Monday night for 4 years, and I just realized the power of us all chanting it together, for each other, with each other. I know we can't hear each other, but we're all chanting it. So see if we can feel each other's hearts, so with our heart, so with that same longing. Om Te Ta Om Begetse Begetse Maha Begetse Rasa Zumungate Soha Te Ta Om Begetse Begetse Maha Begetse Rasa Zumungate Soha Te Ta Om Begetse Begetse Maha Begetse Rasa Zumungate Soha Te Ta Om Begetse Begetse Maha Begetse Rasa Zumungate Soha Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. Teyata om begitse, begitse, maha begitse, rasa sumungate soha. With our chanting, with our voices, with our prayers, it's as though we are wrapping ourselves and each other in a blanket of care, of love. We are not alone, we are held. And we are held by the beings that we invited to be with us. Medicine Buddha, or whoever embodies that for us, they are with us. They are with us all the time. And right now, let whoever it is that you've invited dissolve into light. So there's this light that you can take into your heart. And let that light fill your whole body. And all of the sincere prayers and beauty of the people here that we're all sitting with, bringing in that light too, the light of one another, and breathing it in, just taking it into our whole body. Held by all of that, nourished by all of that. And then let us send some of that light out to all these places, all these people that we've brought into our prayers, all the people who are suffering. And imagine that light bringing them peace and ease and feeding them and comforting them. Thank you so much for your practice. And then we'll say together this beautiful prayer. Shantideva's prayer. Let's do it the way Eric did it last week. Just someone just speak up to do it the first time, someone speak up to do it the second time, and someone speak up to do it the third time, and we'll all do it with you. I'm muting myself now.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without
Those
protection,
protection.
a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine. And may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
Carol, go for it.
Carol, my beloved friend, I'm so sorry. I don't think we're able to hear you. But your delivery was masterful as always.
Let's do it one more time. Stark.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. And just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you.